As the future Donna of the mafia survived 7 rounds before our wedding, a trending video popped up on my feed.
He's usually so fierce, but I secretly stepped on his shoe under the meeting table. He actually smiled at me and texted me to stop playing around.
I almost scrolled past, but a dark silver tie clip on her collar stopped me dead. That was the engagement gift I handcrafted for Ethan. It still had a heart engraved inside, formed by our fingerprints. In the mirror, my white dress suddenly burned my eyes.
I gave Ethan that exact tie-dye clipper last month. He had barely glanced at it before tossing it into a drawer.
Stop making these useless trinkets. You're the future Donna of the Crawfords. Focus on the family.
His tone was clinical, like dismissing a failed report. I assumed he just didn't like it, but there it was, pinned perfectly to that girl's collar, serving as her ultimate flux. It felt like I'd been slapped hard across the face, my ears ringing. I had spent 10 years trying to warm his cold heart, only to realize he'd already given it to her. I changed out of my wedding dress and called Ethan. For 10 years, I wiped his shoes, washed his fruit, waited outside his door. "Where are you?"
In a meeting.
My knuckles went white against the phone. "There's a gala tonight, and Julian Hastings will be there. You know, the boy my mom dragged out of that fire with you."
I've long stopped caring about seeing him.
He sharply cut me off, but I pushed on. "But he's the Don of the Hastings now. He runs the East Coast financial empire. We should meet him." He hung up mid-sentence, but right before the line went die, a sugary whine slipped through the speaker.
Who is that? So annoying.
"You don't get to do this to me." My stomach chirked. Bile spiked in my throat. Clutching my phone tightly, I tracked his location and headed over. It was an exclusive private club. After slipping the Stark some cash, I went straight to Ethan's private room. But I didn't go in. I just stood outside the door. The man working late at the office was currently drinking and laughing, and sitting right beside him was the girl from the video, Lindsey Moore. Ethan's friends were fanning over her, joking about how a fresh college grad managed to melt the ice-cold Dawn. In truth, Ethan had never officially taken over as Dawn because he had been born with a naturally low sperm count. In the mafia, no one would pledge loyalty to a boss who couldn't produce an heir. It was only after I secretly told the Crawford family matriarch about my pregnancy that she secured his inheritance. Ethan had no idea. He thought marrying me was what won his grandmother's favor. That certainly didn't stop him from basking in the title Don Crawford. Only the lawyer frowned deeply.
Does your fiancé know? Won't that little maid you've kept around for 10 years get jealous?
One of Ethan's childhood friends scoffed.
Jealous? Over what? She's just a maid's daughter. Her mother ran into a fire to save Madam Crawford back then, so the old lady arranged the engagement to repay the favor. But after all these years of living off the Crawfords, that debt has been paid 10 times over. The old lady must be senile to waste Ethan on her.
Cruel laughter erupted in the room. My blood ran ice cold. I stared hard at Ethan, hoping he would say even one word in my defense, but he didn't. Lindsey gave Ethan's arm a coyicious shake. "That's right, Don Crawford. Marrying this young will break so many hearts." A childhood friend smirked.
You mean yourself, don't you?
At that, Lindsey looked hurt. She shook Ethan's arm again, clearly wanting him to step in for her. Ethan set down his glass, his icy gaze sweeping over everyone. The private room instantly fell silent. Even I held my breath, my heart pounding wildly. His friend laughed it off to smooth things over.
Just kidding, Ethan. We're just curious. You've known this girl for 2 weeks, but you've already spoiled her more than Serena. 10 years, and I've never once seen you smile at Serena.
My nails dug into the door handle. Conversation inside continued. They were all asking whether Ethan still planned to go through with the wedding. Someone even advised him not to sacrifice his marriage just for the succession as Don. I fixed my eyes on Ethan as well, wanting nothing more than an answer. He didn't look at anyone, just kept twirling the glass in his hand. His thin lips parted.
The wedding goes on.
He spoke quietly, but the words crushed me like a physical blow. Inside, a chorus of wolf whistles erupted.
Come on, Lindsey, don't overthink it. Serena is just there for show. You're the one Don Cranfolder really loves.
Ethan's silence spoke volumes. My very existence wasn't worth his breath. In his eyes, I was nothing more than an object, a burden, the unavoidable result of a debt his family owed. But it took my mother's life.
These strawberries look so delicious.
Lindsey's syrupy sweet voice rang out again.
But I want the Don himself to wash them for me.
I was about to leave, but my steps halted instinctively. Growing up, Ethan never lifted a finger. I was always the one peeling and washing his fruit, setting it right by his hand. I stared at him, begging for just a flicker of annoyance. Nothing.
I'll go wash them.
Ethan set down his glass, picked up the strawberry plate, and rose to his feet. He walked to the door and placed his hand on the handle. The moment our eyes met, the air frozen. The amusement in his eyes vanished instantly.
What are you doing here?
I stared intently at him. Ethan, why is the tie cup I gave you on another woman?
Serena, stop making a scene.
Making a scene? I laughed, but my tears fell first.
We're getting married tomorrow, yet here you are fooling around with another woman.
Who's really the disgrace here? Just then, Lindsey peeked out from behind him. She linked her arm intimately through his and shot me a triumphant look.
Dawn Crawford, who is she? She's so scary.
As she spoke, her fingers brushed seemingly by accident over the tie clip at her chest. Ethan's face darkened completely. He glanced at my thinly clothed figure. He took off his suit jacket and moved to drape it over me, as if completing a task.
Stop making trouble. Go home now. Don't delay tomorrow's wedding.
His tone was commanding, condescending, more like a reprieve than concern. In that moment, everything from the past 10 years flashed before my eyes in an instant. It wasn't love. I had mistaken his cold heart for something I could eventually warm when all he had ever given me was charity laced with disdain. Ethan, let's cancel the wedding. I brushed his jacket aside with a casual flick. His hand froze in midair, shock flashing through his eyes before they turned ice cold.
Serena, could you even live without me?
Dismissing me entirely, he pulled Lindsey close and looked coldly at the security guard nearby.
Get her out. Out. Make sure she
In an instant, a powerful force yanked me backward. I stumbled, my back slamming painfully against the cold wall. The door to the private room shut firmly. Leaning against the wall, I slowly slid down to the floor. 10 years. It was time to end this one-sided performance. Pulling out my phone, I deleted everything related to Ethan. But in the very next second, someone called. It was Julian. Half an hour later, Julian pushed a cup of hot cocoa towards me.
Are you all right? I remember the anniversary of your mother's death is coming up.
My eyes welled up as I looked at Julian. He was probably the only person left who still remembered my mother. Before I could speak, metallic bile scorched my throat. I spun away, clamping a hand over my mouth to stifle the dry heaps. Julian got worried. He immediately stood and patted my back gently.
What's wrong?
I kept my hand clamped over my mouth and swallowed the sour bitterness in my throat.
I'm pregnant.
Julian's hand folds abruptly in midair.
But wasn't Ethan diagnosed as infertile years ago?
Meeting Julian's astonished gaze, I unconsciously rested a hand on my flat stomach. 3 years ago, when he first got the test results, he smashed everything in his studio. He knew all too well what a fatal blow that was for a mafia ear. So when the pregnancy test showed now, setting down my cup, I looked at Julian. Help me leave. Julian's pupils constricted.
Your wedding is tomorrow.
I lowered my gaze and calmly told him everything about the past 10 years, living under their roof, being completely obedient, only to end up being treated by Ethan as nothing more than a debt to be repaid. Julian fell silent for a long time.
I'll make the arrangements for you.
After finalizing the plan with Julian, I went straight back to the Crawford family villa, but the moment I pushed open the front door, I froze. Lindsey was hanging off Ethan like a koala. Her face tilted up as she drunkenly tugged at his tie. Ethan didn't push her away. He looked down, one hand firmly supporting her waist. His gaze held a tenderness and indulgence I had never seen before. His gaze caught mine. The tenderness vanished instantly, replaced by his familiar coldness.
She's drunk. Go clean up the guest room.
His tone was so entitled, as if he were ordering a maid. I'm not going. Looking away, I headed upstairs by myself. His expression darkened, his gaze landing on me with overwhelming pressure. After carefully laying Lindsey on the sofa, he stood up and glared down at me.
Are you done throwing a tantrum?
His tone seemed like a concession, yet it was laced with sheer impatience.
Is this because of the tie clip or because I didn't bring you inside tonight? Fine, I apologize. Happy now?
He stepped closer, his gaze piercingly cold.
Tomorrow is our wedding. Grandma flew all the way back from Sicily just to attend. You'd better drop that bitter, resentful look. Don't upset Grandma.
Staring at him, my chest heaved with anger. Tears welled up in my eyes, but I fiercely blinked them back.
Are you afraid that if the Donna gets upset, you'll lose your inheritance?
At my cold laugh, Ethan's eyes turned completely icy.
Serena.
He called my name, but his next words froze me to the core.
Remember this. Don't disappoint your mother.
He let out a snuff. In that moment, his eyes were filled with mockery and dejection, looking at me as if he were merely stating a fact.
Your current position as Donna Crawford was paid for with her life.
Boom. The last thread of reason in my mind snapped. In his eyes, my mother's life was nothing more than a bargaining chip in an equal exchange. So, shaking violently, I snatched the heavy glass and launched it at his head. Ethan flinched, instantly spinning to shield Lindsey. The glass struck his shoulder hard, shards scattering across the floor. He let out a muffled groan, then turned his head. His glare was murderous.